Hey guys, welcome back to another snowy episode of Clevprof's Advent Calendar. Now, we're here in the snow, which looks very Christmassy, and of course, yesterday we built the giant snowman that you see behind me. Now, something I have noticed in the snow is that, of course, it's going over the path. So we might have to do something about that today. But first, I'm sure you all want to know what we're going to be building today. I know I do. So let's pop in here, push this button and see what we've got. We have to build Santa's sleigh and add a bedroom. Santa's sleigh and add a bedroom. I wonder how I'm going to do that. So I've just done a little bit of terraforming and I've filled in this area here. It's pretty obvious because there's no short grass. And I think building Santa's sleigh right here, kind of facing in that direction, could work really well, because then Santa can kind of take off and go over the river and go and deliver all of the presents. So yeah, I'm going to gather some blocks and let's start building. So we've got the beginnings of a sleigh. I think I'm quite happy with the shape of this. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, but I was a bit kind of indecisive between bamboo and copper, and I think copper looks a lot better to add this kind of trim onto the end. And then on the inside, we've got this kind of seat here, and then we'd have all of the presents and the toys in Santa's sack here. And I've kind of left this bit deliberately hollow so that we can kind of add a bedroom in here. I don't think I'm going to have any reindeer or anything pulling the sleigh yet, but I think I will probably have a big toy sack of presents and things, and yeah, that might be able to give us a little bit more space to work with. So I think I'll get to building that and see what we can come up with. But also during that time lapse you wouldn't have seen it, but I have actually got rid of all of the snow here, and I've used barrier blocks above it so that we don't have to experiment with string and accidentally break some string or something. So that goes all the way up. And of course later on today we will be, of course, building the path over to Santa's sleigh. But yeah, let's see what I can come up with for the sack of toys. A lot of progress has been made, and as you can see, we now have Santa's sack that has all of these presents. Shout out to Fredo the Froggo, my partner, who suggested the use of glazed terracotta. But yeah, we've got all of these presents inside Santa's sack. I've used some of the stained glass to kind of show movement, so it's like this present is flying out. But don't worry, guys, the elves will make sure that the presents do get delivered. And we've got this one down here, and I've again used some glass down here to show movement of the sleigh as if it's about to take off, and got a present that's kind of fallen in and another one that's falling in. Now, in my mind, Santa's sleigh is a bit like his man cave. It's an area where Mrs. Claus isn't allowed in, and therefore it's a bit messy. So you've got kind of half-eaten cake here, paper strewn about. You've got his book of who is naughty and who is nice, and like a little spyglass. Got some drinks down here, some cookies. And yeah, he's kind of a bit disorganized, and he's got all of these kind of odd contraptions that help with navigation, and all of these clocks that make sure that the the Santa is running on time, and possibly a radio to the elves, because I believe that Santa has well and truly gone into the 21st century and has become a bit kind of tech obsessed and is building all this kind of wacky tech, but does also like some plants, because we've got a few little ferns and kind of Christmas trees up here. But yeah, I'm happy with how this is turning out, and I've also added these bells under here, which I think add just a little bit to the overall design. Now, onto the main bit in here, and I think for this, for building the bedroom, we need some music. How cool is that music, guys? Anyway, let's go into a time lapse. In my mind, this is a very cute little bedroom for some elves. Now, I think that Mrs. Claus, Santa's wife, has instructed these elves to come with Santa and to make sure that he behaves himself and doesn't get into too much trouble and doesn't get lost, and make sure he doesn't forget any presents and things. So I've built a little elf bedroom in the sleigh. Obviously, the scale we're working at here, it did have to be quite small, but I've added these kind of Christmas lights up around here, got some paintings and like a nice sunset, and I've given the elves some cute little bunk beds in green, which of course is their favourite colour. You've got a fern and a little Christmas tree over here, got some candles, got some writing paper, and a little bit of storage, as well as a red rug. But I think that ticks the box of bedroom perfectly well. Now, the sleigh is looking amazing, but it is looking a little bit isolated from the rest of the sort of wintry village that we're making. So just like with yesterday, I'm going to make a path to there, probably just straight across and kind of forking off like that. Maybe I'll have some little steps up to the sleigh. But yeah, let's get on with that and see what we can come up with. And as if by magic, the path is done, and I've added a bit of snow on the side as well as the lampposts, and I've added this little ladder up here into the sleigh. But that is about it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please go give it a like down below. And just a reminder that this is a series that I am doing right the way up until Christmas. I'm super happy with everything that we've done today, but if you want to follow along with the series, there is a link to the playlist in the description, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when I upload in the future. But that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to have a mince pie, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!